This is a sports catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather Ho, there's Jeff Cutastrophe. Welcome you to another sports catastrophe on this date. And on this date, December 13th, 1977, tragedy struck the NCAA basketball world as an entire basketball team actually perished in a major crash. I've been talking about plane crashes and teams for a couple of years, but one of the biggest crashes happened in 1977 when Evansville's men's basketball team crashed on their way to a game against Middle Tennessee State. I thought it was Wichita State, but that's wrong. Anyway, so the University of Evansville started out life in the NAIA, well, the third tier of NCAA athletics. Then, after 1955, they moved up to Division II and won 5 Division II national titles, 59, 60, 64, 65, 71. By 1977, they were actually thinking about playing in the big time, the Division I athletics. So Evansville would have their first season of basketball played. Unfortunately for Evansville, tragedy would strike. But anyway, before I talk about the accident, Evansville plays out of the Horizon League and formerly the Horizon League and then the Missouri Valley Conference. Unfortunately for them, they have not been to an NCAA tournament since 1999. And they've only been to 5 NCAA men's tournaments, 82, 89, 92, 93, 99. With a win in 89 against Oregon State, but a loss to Seton Hall. So yeah, they haven't been the best team around. They've been close a couple times, but since 2016 they've been crap. Anyhow, so it's the Air Indiana Flight 216 happened December 13, 1977 at 7 Central Time, which is 8 o'clock our time, when a Douglas DC-3 crashed on takeoff at Evansville Airport on their way to a game against Middle Tennessee. The aircraft lost control and crashed shortly after liftoff. It was one of the most shocking events in the world that an entire basketball team could perish in an accident. There were times that entire teams, or the majority of teams, crashed that were huge. Manchester United in 1958, on February 6th, they lost the majority of their team to a crash in Germany. 1970, Marshall, they had a massive crash and all that, and it was portrayed in the Disney movie We Are Marshall. So anyway, this was another major crash. The National Transportation Safety Board blamed the crash on the pilot's failure to remove gust locks on the right aileron and the rudder before takeoff, and it was an overloaded baggage compartment. And they said that the plane would have been airborne if the gust lock, if they either removed the gust locks or put the baggage less and less. But the extra baggage shifted the plane's center of gravity to the back end, and the locked rudder and aileron made it impossible to control the overweight aircraft. So anyway, all the players died, and it was all that. One of the lucky ones was Jerry Sloan, because Jerry Sloan was an assistant coach, but he didn't fly on that plane. I think he had to go to Middle Tennessee for something else. But Jerry Sloan, who almost perished, that would have been the end of his career. And who knows what the Utah Jazz would have been like without Jerry Sloan, because Sloan was the head coach of the Jazz from 88 to 2018. 3 decades with the same team. All that. He had to consider himself the lucky ones and all that. So anyway, yeah, there were a lot of crashes and all that. So, yeah, the University of Evansville had a memorial called the Weeping Basketball, and on stone slabs were the names of the players who were killed. And then engraved was the thing. Out of the agony of this hour we will rise, which was huge. Now, there was a bit of a melancholy ending to this whole incident because David Furr, who was a freshman player who actually had an ankle injury, could not travel with the team. So he was saved. He was spared from the accident. Unfortunately, the karma bit him in the butt as there was a car accident near Newton, Illinois, and unfortunately, it was Furr and his younger brother. So what ended up happening was that every Evansville player in that 1977-78 season, their first NCAA season in Division I, died. It's like, holy crap, that just happened. Yes, it did. It happened. I mean, that was just bad luck for Evansville. Evansville rose and at least did decently in NCAA, but they haven't been the powerhouse they should be. And it's just sad, but things happen for a reason. Jerry Sloan survived and helped Utah become a decent team. Yeah, it was just awful, to say the least. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.